Okay. Yeah. Oh.
In our minds, childhood is an age of innocence, a time of scraped knees, laughter, and imagination. But what happens when that innocence shatters? When the hands meant for holding toys commit unspeakable acts? Today, we're diving into the most disturbing cases of girls who became killers. Their stories aren't just shocking, these are the cases that will stick with you long after the video ends. Our first case takes us back to Newcastle, England, in 1968. The name, Mary Bell. Just 10 years old when she committed her first murder, followed by another at age 11. Imagine that, a child, barely out of elementary school, a serial killer. Mary and her friend Norma were involved in a series of bizarre and cruel acts. It escalated quickly. First, the strangulation of 4-year-old Martin Brown. Then, just weeks later, 3-year-old Brian Howe. What made these cases truly chilling was Mary's behavior post-murder, returning to the victims' homes, asking to see them in their coffins. A disturbing curiosity, a lack of remorse that baffled even seasoned detectives. So why? This is where Mary Bell's case becomes a staple for psychological debate. Was she born evil or a product of her environment? Evidence pointed to a horrific childhood, severe neglect, physical and sexual abuse by multiple adults, even her own mother. Psychologists have often categorized her as having a severe behavior disorder. Some called her a psychopath, triggered by profound trauma. It painted a picture of a child desperately seeking attention, even if it was negative, combined with an inability to show empathy. Mary Bell was tried in an adult court, but due to her age, she was convicted of manslaughter with diminished responsibility, not murder. She was sentenced to indefinite incarceration, essentially until she was no longer deemed a danger to the public. She was released in 1980 at age 23, granted lifelong anonymity by the courts, and given a new identity. She has since had a child of her own. The decision to grant her anonymity and a fresh start has remained a controversial decision, sparking debate about rehabilitation versus justice for victims. Our next case brings us to San Diego, California, in 1979. A name associated with one of the first mass school shootings in U.S. history, Brenda Spencer. She was just 16. January 29, 1979. From her home directly across the street from Grover Cleveland Elementary, Brenda opened fire with a .22 caliber rifle. She killed Principal Burton Ragg and custodian Mike Suchar and injured 9 others, mostly children. When a reporter called her during the standoff and asked why she did it, her infamous, chilling reply became a global headline. "I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." Brenda's home life was deeply troubled. Her parents were estranged, and she lived with her alcoholic father. She had a history of drug use, skipping school, and making threats of violence. She'd expressed suicidal ideations and told friends she wanted to do something big to get on TV. Psychologists described her as having antisocial tendencies and a profound lack of empathy. It was a cocktail of neglect, mental health issues, and access to firearms that tragically boiled over that Monday morning. Despite her age, Brenda Spencer was tried as an adult. She pled guilty to 2 counts of murder and assault with a deadly weapon. She received a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. Brenda Spencer remains incarcerated today. She has been denied parole multiple times, with the parole board citing her lack of remorse and continued statements that deny her full responsibility for her actions. Each parole hearing reignites the debate around the tragedy she caused and whether she truly understands the gravity of her actions. She is now in her 60s, still behind bars. Our final case brings us to Missouri, 2009. The internet generation's nightmare, 15-year-old Alyssa Bustamante, a teen who didn't just kill, but documented her chilling thoughts. Alyssa meticulously planned the murder of her 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Olton. She dug a grave days in advance. On October 21st, she lured Elizabeth into the woods, strangled her, and stabbed her 8 times. What followed was even more disturbing. Alyssa wrote in her journal about the experience, describing it as amazing and pretty enjoyable. She later updated her Facebook status to, "Seriously, I killed someone," before changing it back. Alyssa presented a disturbing blend of depression, self-harm, and a fascination with violence. She had a history of mental health issues and was on antidepressants. Psychologists later identified a mix of borderline personality disorder traits and behavior disorder. The thrill she described points to a severe disconnect from reality and a craving for extreme sensation, often seen in emerging psychopaths. The digital footprint she left behind, her YouTube videos and MySpace posts showcasing a dark fascination, provided a chilling window into her increasingly disturbing mindset. Alyssa was initially charged with first-degree murder, but pled guilty to second-degree murder and armed criminal action. She received a sentence of life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Alyssa Bustamante is currently serving her sentence. She will be eligible for parole in her 40s. Her case often serves as a modern cautionary tale about the dark side of online behavior and the critical need for early intervention in severe adolescent mental health issues. These cases are undeniably disturbing. They force us to question the very nature of good and evil, and the complex circumstances of environment, trauma, and inherent psychological traits. What they all share is a profound loss, not just of the victims, but of the innocence we assume all children possess. They are stark reminders that beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives, unfathomable darkness can sometimes live, shaping their fates in the most tragic ways. What are your thoughts on these cases? Do you believe these girls were products of their environment, or was there something in their genetics that led them down such dark paths? Let me know in the comments below. If these stories have intrigued you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into true crime, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Thank you for watching. And remember, the truth is often stranger and far more terrifying than fiction.